A homeless economy. What is that? That is what I'm going to create, something called the homeless economy. Let me describe it to you. It's a economy where the homeless people can make money versus having to go out and do things that they don't want to do, like steal, prostitute themselves. I've had to do that, so I'm not judging. I'm going to have to do bad things by your standard society. So, the homeless economy, here's what I plan to do. So I'm bringing together the grandmothers, the non-profit organization. I'm saying, Kokam, I'm creating this for you. I don't know more. I created this for you. Really smart Kokams, I created this for you. Kokams with PhDs, I created this for you. Kokams with masters, I created this for you. Kokams who love their children, I created this for you. Not for me. I'm just a figurehead, and I'm going to step down when it's all created and everything is set. Protocol is set. I said, okay, then I'll step down. But this is for the grandmothers, and I'm just here to create the foundation. Green Feather Foundation. That's it. So, the homeless people right now, I want to create an economy for you. And here's how I'm going to do it. Right now, my flax expert of Canada, has some flax in the field, and we made an arrangement. He said, if you're able to get that processed and whatnot, and he said, I'll give you 30%. He said, I'll give you 30% of whatever it is. And I was like, that's a deal, because he put in a lot of his own work, his own money. And I'm just like, cool, he's willing to give me 30% of that. If I was to able to process that down, right now it's in the field, it's laying there. And it's still usable. It's still fucking usable. And if I was to break it down, bring it to Saskatchewan, and I said, hey, homeless fella, homeless friend, brother, sister, brother, sorry, forgive me, my homeless family. I said, Astamota. And then I go to the park and I says, can you break this down? And it's the way you clean sweetgrass, exact same way. If you know how to clean sweetgrass, you know how to clean flax. It's the same motions. And that's why we, First Nations people, are the only ones who can create a flax industry in Saskatchewan. We're the only ones. No one else can do it. Even my expert said that. He's like, did you know that you First Nations? He didn't say it like that. He says, First Nations people, he said, you're the only ones who can create this industry. And I was like, why? I just thought it was just being nice. He says, because of the actions. He goes, and how it's treated and grown and whatnot. He says, it's like your sweetgrass. He says, it's all the same. And then I don't get whatever, right? And then as I understood the plant and I was breaking it down, and just, it's a community plant. It brings the community together. I see my family in the fields, cleaning it in groups. I seen them harvesting it in groups. I went and harvested this plant on my knees. I sat there and I humbled myself to the earth. And as I'm sitting there, I'm just like imagining, how am I going to help the homeless people, my family? How can I turn this into money? So in my reserve, they would pay you for every little bundle. He said, okay, you clean this, whatnot, and for every braid, he goes, I'll give you $1.25 a braid. And that's how they did it on the reserve. So I thought, why don't I do that the same way? I says, if you break down this 100 Gs, 100 grams of whatnot, so you bring me a 100-gram little thing, he goes, and I'll pay you $10 for that. And so like, okay. And so I'll have all this and they'll weigh it out. And he says, okay, how much did you bring? I says, how many? And be like, oh. And you'll have people who make as much as $100 a day, sitting there breaking it down like sweetgrass, talking to people, just joking around. And it says, and I'll supply the food for you. I'll have a food truck there. I was like, you feed my family. And the food that you eat from my truck will be alive. It won't be fucking dead. Everything that I serve my family will be alive. No bottled water, not even fucking once. That bottled water is dangerous. You'll never ever see me give it to my family on the street. Not once. The food I serve them will not be dead. It will not be dead. I will not get into there. I get all excited and agitated when it comes to food. Food is power. Food is your medicine. And I want to make sure that your medicine is food. So I'm gonna work with the organizations and say, hey, we're gonna have a day in the park. And then you're gonna break it down and says, oh, okay. And then I'm not gonna stop there. So I'm meeting with the grandmothers today and says, we gotta help my family on the street, and I know how. Because I went and researched how for 7 years. I lived as a homeless person, laid on the fucking street, laid in a cardboard box in a back alley. And I even slept on 20th, right on 20th. Let me tell you a funny story. When I first started my journey, I was walking and I seen this person laying right in 20th there, right in front of the, I forget what it's called, but it was a really fancy building. And it was, just thought, oh, poor guy, right? And I walked her. And then one day I was hanging out with my cousin Sarah, and she went inside there. She said, I hope you were back. She's just a little talkative person. She just loves to talk to people. And of course, I'd be like, I'd wait, right? Like an obedient little servant. I was serving my cousin. I was chilling with her, understanding how it knew to be homeless, because she was teaching me how to be homeless. My own cousin, my own sister, late sister. We lost her. So here I am waiting. And there was that same spot, and I was like, just sat there, right? And I'm having my joint, and all of a sudden I was just like, holy crap, it's nice here. And the sun was just perfect right above me. And I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna lay here for a bit. And I fell asleep. I was just like, holy shit, I got up and I laughed at myself. I was like, look at me. I am that fella who I said, oh, poor guy. Not realizing, like, holy fuck, this is a sweet spot. It was just nice. It was just like, oh, I need that sun. I was just there, and I went up, I was just like, oh, that's nice. And I was like, holy fuck, I'm that guy. I watched myself walk by looking at myself with pity. It's like, oh, that poor guy. How many people do you think walked by when I was sleeping there enjoying that sun? It's like, oh my God, there's so much fun. I was waiting for my sister. And then all of a sudden my sister goes, let's go. I get up and I leave. Right? Go on my journey. That was my journey as a homeless person, friends. I laid on the street. I slept in the back alley in a cardboard box. I went there and made it into a home. I had this Smagansak watching me. He was there pretending to be my friend, trying to set me up. Smagansak under covers. And I knew who he was, but I let it happen. I used him as a security guard because I knew who he was. So here I am doing my job. And I thought, okay, how do I help the homeless people? My family. So when the grandmothers, when we assemble, we make all that money, and it's going to be us working together, helping ourselves. And you'll see how when we work together, we get things done. And that's all I'm going to hear. Get things done. That's what I'm here, friends. So, another homeless economy. Oh, shit. Come. As I have a grandmother right now coming, so hold on. I gotta end it off.